Assalamu alaikum. Today I am going to discuss kidney. Previously we have discussed that homeostatic and osmoregulatory organs. Now we are going to discuss urinary systems in human beings. We will discuss structures, functions and disorders of kidneys and their remedies. So this is kidney. Kidney is a paired structure, means it is available in pair, right kidney, left kidney. Then there arises pelvis. It is arises from hilum of the kidney, then continuate as ureter, then it empties in urinary bladder where urine stores up to almost 500 milliliter. Then urethra, there is sphincter valve where urine is excreted. And sphincter valve is due to because it is under our control. There are three surfaces of kidney, and on the upper surface of kidney there is a gland known as suprarenal gland. Now each kidney is a bean shaped organ. It is a bean shaped organ. Bean shaped. It is almost 10 centimeter long and it lies in the abdominal cavity. Diaphragm separates thoracic cavity from abdominal cavity and it lies in the posterior abdominal wall attached to dorsal abdominal body wall. Dorsal means posteriorly. Each kidney is enclosed by a thin membranous covering called peritoneum and renal gland is on the top of the kidney. Each organ in the abdomen is surrounded by a membranous covering known as peritoneum, and a suprarenal gland or renal gland is on the top of the kidney. Kidney is supplied by blood supply of kidney is by renal arteries, which are branches of aorta, and venous drainage is through renal vein. Now if we see the structure of kidney internally, so there are two main regions, an outer dark region that is known as cortex and the inner middle region that is known as medulla. There in medulla there lies a pyramids and the renal pelvis in the region called hilum of kidney. It means there are three regions: outer region that is dark that is known as cortex, inner one that in middle that is known as medulla, and hilum of kidney from where structures passes, exist or enters into the kidney. Renal pelvis that is further continued as ureter. The hilum is a concave part of the bean shaped where blood vessels and nerves enter and exit the kidney. It is also the point of exit for the ureter. यहाँ से ureter भी निकलते हैं. पहले the dilated part of the ureter is known as pelvis. फिर उसके बाद ureter and nerves and blood vessels भी यहाँ से निकलती हैं और आती हैं. This part is known as hilum. अब कॉर्टेक्स में क्या होता है? कॉर्टेक्स क्या है हमारे पास? ग्रेन्यूलर है ड्यू टू प्रेजेंस ऑफ नेफ्रॉन्स. जो हमारे मोस्ट ऑफ द नेफ्रॉन्स है वो कॉर्टिकल रीजन में लाई करते हैं, मींस आउटर कॉर्टेक्स ऑफ या आउटर पार्ट ऑफ किडनी, एंड इट इज द फंक्शनल यूनिट ऑफ किडनी. As neuron is the functional unit of brain, same as nephron is the functional unit of kidney. The medulla is consist of multiple pyramidal tissue mass called renal pyramids. Pyramid-like structures are present in kidney that are known as renal pyramids. Renal is word for the kidney. In between the pyramids are spaces called as renal columns through which blood vessel passes. If you see this structure, the outer dark region is known as cortex and the middle region is known as medulla, where these dark orange color structures pyramids lies. In between two pyramids there is a space known as renal columns from which blood vessel passes. Red is for the artery and blue is for the vein. Where blood vessels passes is known as renal columns and it is present between two renal pyramids. And what is nephron? Nephron is a functional unit of kidney and it begins with Malpighian body. Malpighian body is a capsule that holds in Bowman's capsule. Malpighian body is cup-like structure called Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule is what? It is a capsule or cup-like structure which holds glomerulus. Inside a dense network or capillaries called glomerulus. Glomerulus is nothing but it is a dense network of capillaries. Now if we see that we are taking one pyramid, there lies a nephron in cortical region and this is known as pyramid, and that will be called as renal column from blood vessels passes. There is whole structures known as the Bowman's capsule. This cup-like structure is known as Bowman's capsule, and in which it holds glomerulus. This red structure is known as glomerulus. Now, if the blood enters into the nephron, it goes into renal corpuscles called Malpighian body. The renal corpuscles contain two additional structures. This whole known as renal corpuscles, and blood enters and leaves through it. Blood enters into the glomerulus through afferent arterioles, and it leaves the glomerulus by efferent arterioles. It contains two structures, glomerulus, which is the cluster of capillaries, and it absorbs protein, and Bowman's capsule, it is remaining fluid passing through Bowman's capsule into the renal tubules. It contains fluid that is further passed into renal tubules that are proximal convoluted, distal convoluted, and loop of Henle. Now, renal tubules. Renal tubules are series of tubes that begins after Bowman's capsule. Look, this is the cup-like structure, Bowman's capsule. This extension is known as renal tubules, and this whole structure are known as renal tubules, and they end at the structure known as collecting duct. Collecting duct receive many renal tubules. This structure shows that it is receiving many renal tubules, but we are concerned here with only one renal tubules. It is three tubules, proximal convoluted tubule that mainly absorb water, sodium and glucose, loop of Henle that further absorb potassium, chloride and sodium, distal convoluted tubule that further absorb sodium and blood back into the tissues, potassium and acid. Now, blood supply to the glomerulus begins as afferent arterioles, which arises from renal arterioles. Blood is carried from glomerulus by efferent arterioles that is further divided into two capillary networks, pretubular capillaries and vasa recta. Pretubular capillaries supply proximal and distal convoluted tubules. Vasa recta are straight parallel beside loop of Henle. Now, if you can see that the glomerulus receive blood supply from afferent arterioles, and it leaves through efferent arterioles. Efferent arterioles is further divided into two capillary networks, pretubular capillaries network and vasa recta. Pretubular capillaries supplies proximal convoluted tubules and distal convoluted tubule, and vasa recta are parallel straight supplies that supply loop of Henle. If someone asks that what is loop of Henle, it is nothing but combination of descending limb, ascending limb and vasa recta. These three combine to form loop of Henle. Now, functions of kidney. Kidney performs variety of functions, but the main function is ultrafiltration, selective reabsorption, secretion and osmoregulation. Osmoregulation, we have discussed that it is a maintenance of water and solute. Now, what is ultrafiltration? If you can see this structure, when blood enters glomerulus by afferent arterioles, the diameter of afferent arterioles is much greater than diameter of efferent arteriole. So, if blood enters into the glomerulus, it stays here for some time because the efferent diameter is less than, and it takes time to pass the blood. So, if blood remains in glomerulus, the hydrostatic pressure in the glomerulus, when hydrostatic pressure begins to rise, the ultrafiltration occurs here because blood stays here for some time. Then it is drained by efferent arterioles and then to capillary networks. Ultrafiltration here is non-selective, whereas reabsorption from tubules is selective one, and it occurs at molecular level. This is known as molecular level, and it occurs due to increased hydrostatic pressure. Now, kidney perform function in urine formation. Almost 1100 to 1200 liter blood flows into the kidney, and the nephron and collecting ducts possess only 180 liters of filtrate, and kidney excrete only 1 to 2 liters of urine, and rest of it is then reabsorbed. Urine is mainly consists of water, that is almost 95%. It also contains creatinine and ammonia, that are 0.3 to 0.7%. pH of kidney is little acidic and it is 5. Now selective reabsorption. We already discussed that reabsorption occur from renal tubules. Proximal convoluted tubules reabsorb sodium, glucose and water. Distal also reabsorb sodium and potassium and acid. Some loop of Henle also reabsorb sodium. Reabsorption is what returning substance back to the blood, and it occurs by two transport mechanisms: active transport and passive transport. Active transport requires energy because it is from low concentration to high concentration, means against the gradient, whereas passive transport is from high concentration to lower concentration. Active transport mainly occurs by co-transport and passive transport mainly occurs by endocytosis. Now here it is shown that what and at which part of the renal tubules or the which thing is reabsorbed. This is the glomerulus, the tuft of capillaries where ultrafiltration occurs, and it is at molecular level due to increased hydrostatic pressure. This cup-like structure is known as Bowman's capsule, that is further extended to renal tubules. First that is attached to it is known as proximal tubule, that absorbs sodium, water, glucose and amino acids. Then it is continued as descending limb where water and sodium is reabsorbed. Then descending limb, then ascending limb, and then distal tubule where water and sodium is also reabsorbed. Here vasa recta that supplies the loop of Henle. This all structure is known as loop of Henle. Proximal tubules and distal tubule is supplied by pretubular capillaries, the branch or capillary network of efferent tubules and efferent arterioles, and the glomerulus has blood supplies from afferent arterioles. Aldosterone and ADH are the hormones which help in kidney by performing their functions. This is collecting duct in which many renal tubules opens up or drain their. This is a collecting duct in which many renal tubules empties, and from collecting duct water is also reabsorbed. Now, what are the effect of hormones on working of kidney? Natriuretic hormone is one of the peptide hormone that stimulate kidney to excrete sodium. It is opposite to that of aldosterone. Natriuretic hormone क्या करता है, वो इनहिबिट कर देता है अल्डोस्टेरोन रिलीज को. वो अल्डोस्टेरोन को रिलीज होने नहीं देता एंड वो सोडियम की रिकवरी होने ही नहीं देता, ना कलेक्टिंग डक्ट से ना रीनल ट्यूब्यूल से. पैराथ्रोमोन Parathromone reabsorption. Parathromone helps in reabsorption of calcium ions in nephrons. Aldosterones increase reabsorption of sodium ions in nephron. Parathormones increase reabsorption of kidney, whereas aldosterone increase reabsorption of sodium ions. And natriuretic hormones inhibit aldosterone secretion and excrete urine. Now kidney problems. किडनी स्टोन्स. किडनी स्टोन्स आर मोस्ट कॉमन किडनी प्रॉब्लम्स. ये कैसे बनते हैं? क्योंकि सर्टेन मिनरल्स जमा हो जाते हैं, क्लम्प बना देते हैं, दैट आर नोन एज किडनी स्टोन्स. लार्ज किडनी स्टोन्स होते हैं, वो पेन काज करवाते हैं. अगर किडनी स्टोन गाल ब्लैडर में है तो वो नहीं निकल सकता, रेमेडी इज कि गाल ब्लैडर निकाल दे. लेकिन अगर वो किडनी में है, ड्यू टू सम प्रोसीजर ultraviolet rays, these are broken down into smaller particles and that moves into urine system and passes out by urine. It is mainly consist of 70% calcium oxalate or phosphate. Lithotripsy. It is a remedy and it is a medical procedure that uses shock waves and laser to break down stones in kidney, gallbladder and ureter. If stones are present in gallbladder through lithotripsy, they are broken down in smaller molecules where they are passes through ureter and then into urinary bladder and urethra. Urethra has smallest diameter among all, that's why it causes pain. अदर मोस्ट कॉमन प्रॉब्लम इज रीनल फेल्यूर. सुना होगा कि किडनी खराब हो गई. रीनल फेल्यूर इज दैट इट कवर्स अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स and kidney does not get enough blood to filter and it does not perform its function. रेमेडी इसकी क्या होती है? डायलिसिस. डायलिसिस एक ऐसा प्रोसीजर है जो कि किडनी का फंक्शन प्रोवाइड करता है. There are two types of dialysis that we mostly use in medical procedure. One is hemodialysis. That is the most common type of dialysis in which we use a hemodialyzer. It is known as artificial kidney to remove waste and extra fluid from the blood. It means in hemodialysis we use an artificial kidney, and other is peritoneal dialysis, which involves surgery to implant a peritoneal dialysis catheter into abdomen. The catheter helps filter your blood through peritoneum membrane in your abdomen. Peritoneum is a membranous covering that covers the abdominal organs and kidney as well. पेरिटोनियल डायलिसिस कैसे करते हैं कि हम सर्जरी करते हैं और एक कैथेटर हम इम्प्लांट कर देते हैं जो कि फिल्ट्रेशन में हेल्प करवाता है एंड किडनी का फंक्शंस परफॉर्म करेगा. these are two these are the techniques to perform the functions of kidney. Thank you very much. If you have any query, do ask me. Allah Hafiz.